Well, I hope you guys are ready for a pretty big fight. We've heeded the Cadians' call for assistance, and we've arrived at the battlefield where it looks like the Cadians are already engaged with the Tau. Unfortunately, the Cadians appear to be in retreat. They are definitely moving toward the edge of the map, so I don't know how long we'll have their assistance for. This is a rather large group of Tau, though, so it would definitely be nice to have a little bit of crossfire going rather than us just trying to hold that entire force with 5 people. It looks like we do have a nice little choke point on our end, though. So what we'll probably try to do is hold them here. It looks like they are moving south, so they probably will come after us, especially if these guys flee the map. So we'll try to hold them here, and then if we can't, if they start to overrun us, we can try to maybe pull back to here, but it could be very difficult to win this with only 5 Space Marines. I know they're Space Marines, but that's a lot of Tau. Okay, so let's get moving. I've already ordered them to kind of get headed in that general vicinity. So what I'd like to do, I think, is have Avitus on the corner so that he can start shooting like immediately. I'll probably have to force target this to destroy it. Otherwise, he won't be able to fire all the way through. Granted, they might be far enough down by the time he gets there that he'll have some shots. Tarkus, looks like you were also moving to the same spot. It might be better to put you on this corner, just so that anybody else who moves down you can shoot at, but obviously the heavy bolter is the priority in terms of line of sight. And we have Thule and Nicholas. I think what I want to do is have Thule. I don't want him standing out in the open, but I also want to make sure that the enemy can't just immediately engage Tarkus and Avitus in combat, melee combat. I want to use Thule and Nicholas and Antaeus to kind of screen them. So I guess we'll put you, like, I don't like having you out in the open. I just don't know where else to put you. I guess right behind Tarkus, that way he can run out and intercept if needed. Antaeus will do the same behind Avitus, and Nicholas, I'm actually thinking over here, because if they sneak through, let's do this. If they sneak through over here, I don't want to get encircled. So if he sets up right there, nope, come on. If he sets up right there, he can poke out and shoot. And also anybody that tries to go through is pretty much immediately going to get caught in melee combat because it's only 1 tile wide. So I think that's the best we can do right now. Let's see how this plays out. There is a rocket launcher in the Cadians there, and it just went out. Oh, wow, that was a big hit. That might have actually saved... Well, no, there's a lot of Cadians down. So Avitus is letting loose. Tarkus, I'm going to have you force target this, because we need that out of the way. So they're still going after the Cadians, it looks like. Most of the Cadians are down, if not all of them. But we only have about half of the Tau force to deal with. And you know what, Tarkus? Go ahead and... oh, you're out of range. You know what? In that case, just move up. Tarkus, buddy, come on, move. Thule, move up with him. And was that it? No, there's still some up. But not a lot of them, actually. Some of them did leave the map. So... Wow, okay. That was over in a flash. That one's still up too. We'll go ahead and run out there and we'll start finishing them off. Okay, that one's down. There's still a few up over here. Let's start moving. We can shoot and run. Avitus set up there. Antaeus kind of go with them. And that's that. All right. I'm going to pause quickly here so we can check out our reward. Sure, we'll view the quest. So this is what we asked for again. And if we jump over to the base, our stuff should have been dropped out here. So we have the Psychic Emanator. This is going to improve the mood of anybody nearby. So we're going to want to install that. I think in the temple makes the most sense. Maybe here? I want it kind of out of the walkway. But I want it to, you know, cover most of the area. No, I don't think anybody's going to be like hugging the edges of the wall here. So it doesn't necessarily need to cover all of it. And actually, I don't want to go too much further over. Yeah, I want to be able to get all the benches here. But if we can cover this room too, this is where the chaplains are going to be talking to our Marines. So it would benefit us to cover some of that too. So I think that's maybe the best spot for it. Then we have this Psylink Neuroformer. This increases Psylink level. I looked at what you guys suggested in the comments as to how this should apply, and my favorite suggestion was maybe allowing it to open up a secondary specialty. So with the Psychers, like Antaeus here, they have their primary discipline and also potentially a minor discipline, and that costs 1,000 XP. So the Psylink will open up a minor discipline slot. If the person already has a minor discipline slot, then we'll figure something else out. But increasing the Psyker level, I'm a little bit reluctant to do because that's 9,000 XP. That's a lot. This is only 1,000 XP, so it seems a little bit more justifiable. Maybe if there's already a minor discipline, it can unlock like a higher tier ability or something. We'll figure it out. So jumping back over here, we also got this auxiliary AI, which we'll probably destroy because it's an AI. We got some uranium too. So Orion, I might actually just have you use it. Did we pick a discipline for you? We did. Telekinesis, okay. Right, so just go ahead and haul that back. Is there a place to haul it? Okay. And Endymion, since you're doing nothing, why don't you... Oh, I need to click on the blueprint. Work on the blueprint, please. And then that's going to get destroyed, so there's no rush to get it out of the elements. Okay, back over here. There's a lot of injured Cadians. We can't rescue them properly because otherwise they will just... It'll be as though they were taken prisoner, and we'll have some issues with that faction. So instead, I think what we'll do is we'll just throw down some sleeping spots and grab as many of the Cadians as we can. To rescue. So hopefully this doesn't cause any problems. So Ingrid... Oh, what are you doing right now? You're gonna go rest. Yeah, please rescue these people instead. Make sure we don't capture them. Unfortunately, I didn't bring anybody with a ton of medicine skill. So we'll see how this plays out. There's plenty of medicine lying around, though. Go ahead and rescue Hobbit as well. Somebody was going to grab him, right? Okay, perfect. Tarkus, why don't you grab Sophia? Nicholas, grab Semi. And that appears to be everybody. Oh, Squint. Let's grab Squint. And then we'll take a look at who has the best medicine skill. Duel is actually pretty competent. I did not expect him to be that highly skilled. And then it's going to be a toss-up between Nicholas and Tarkus. So we'll let Avitus do whatever. Antaeus can do whatever. Duel is already taking a nap. We should probably triage. So who is the most wounded? You just got shot in the pelvis. So you're going to be fine. You're going to be fine. Got a toe bitten off. Otherwise, okay. Wow. So the plasma burns apparently don't have a whole lot of lethality to them, which is very interesting. That means potentially we could just leave everybody here. Squint, are you dead? Oh, you are dead. Your heart was destroyed. It's just a matter of time. What happens if we strip you? I don't want to piss off their faction, so I'm reluctant to, like, start looting bodies while they're still warm. Okay. Ah, cargo pods. What do we get? Whoa, whoa, whoa. What the hell is that? Steel Hellblade. It's a power weapon. Also looks very cornate in nature. Powerful daemon weapon in the form of a great two-handed sword that's usually wielded by a bloodletter. Right. And then what do we have here? A crude choppa. So it's an orc weapon. We'll probably destroy that. This is interesting. I don't know what to do with that. Part of me says it should get destroyed immediately. But it's also a very powerful weapon. And I mean, no, it's got to be corrupted. I don't see any way that it's not corrupted. Actually, why are you guys all forbidden? Now that I'm paying attention. Tomb Spider. Oh, you're not dead. But you guys are. So we want to make sure that those are being hauled inside. These can be marked for finishing off. And we'll allow that one as well. Was there any over here? Doesn't look like it. Okay. Right. So if we pop back over here. I don't think anybody was actually dying, right? So if we just leave them... I mean, they might starve, I guess. But I don't know that there's a lot we can do for them. We can try a little bit. So I'm going to get a dumping stockpile going here. And we'll just say that pretty much everything is allowed. We'll grab these and we'll allow them. Let's grab all the medicine. We'll allow that. I thought there would have been more, honestly. Survival meals, regular meals, fine meals, and there we go. Okay. What the hell is this? Just sandstone blocks. So they should get stuff hauled over here. Once it's in the stockpile, it should be easier to get them to use the medicine. I guess these weren't in my field of view. We're not going to bother with the Tau. It's just too much work to try to butcher them or anything like that. By the way, if we pop back over... Squint died, right? Yeah, his heart was destroyed. If we pop back over here, you'll notice there's a lot less people hanging around the base, and that's because the shuttle finally arrived for our guests. They all left, and that quest was completed. So our reward for that was a few items, one of which was a giant TV. I've put that TV in the... what do you call it? The mess hall. So that they can watch news from around the Imperium, I guess. I don't think TV is a big thing in 40K, but it'll make the dining room much higher quality. And what was the masterwork? A chair? Yeah, of course it was a chair. Table would have been nice. Chair, don't really care. But anywho, this area is effectively complete, so we can start moving on to other areas. I am asking them to mine out this bit of hallway here. And following that, we will probably start digging into this area here. And so what I am kind of envisioning is... Why are we not going at full speed? Is there still hostiles over here or something? I don't know, honestly. Anywho, Thule. I'm going to take one more look and see who I can get up on their feet. And then we'll go ahead and just leave, basically. So, Somehow this cheeky little bastard, I don't know how this thing came back to full health. These are dead. Can they just revive themselves? Oh, dead for 7 days. That would have been good to know. So we probably need to be a little bit quicker about destroying these things. Wait, no, this is how long they've been dead, not whether or not they should, how long they're going to stay dead. I don't know. Necrons appear to not play by any rules. But this guy got up, destroyed our turret, and the explosion destroyed a lot of our defenses in that area. So I think Orion and Endymion are going to go deal with it. And then we're going to have to buy another turret, unfortunately. You leave those solar panels alone, buddy. Martellus, since you're already headed out there, let's make sure you stay and fight. Can you smite him, maybe? Cool. Then get in there and fight. Aramis is going to run. Right, I should probably make sure everybody is set to... I kind of like Flee, actually, because we have run and gun on. So if they're truly in danger, they should be able to run while they shoot. I don't want them to just immediately engage anything that they come across because, well, it's probably more lore friendly, if I'm being honest. I should probably go through and then set everybody to that. I'll get these guys for right now. You're already set. Okay. I think most of my original colonists were already set for it, but not so much the ones that have joined us lately. And that fire burnt itself out. Unfortunately, it's going to burn itself out on our components. Aramis, can you run over there and maybe save those? They're regular components, so it's not the end of the world if we lose them, but still it's 3 free components. Well, not free, but salvaged. And one of the guardsmen has an infection. Okay, perfect. Thank you for that. So we're going to need to queue these back up. Like so. And then I believe it was something to that effect. How big is the turret? Security. It was 2x2. So if we do that, cancel those, build that there. That looks about right. And then, of course, we'll need to extend this back over. Like so. And I guess while they're at it, let's fill that back in. That one's incapacitated. We should probably make sure that one stays dead. I wish Heracus was a little bit quicker in dealing with this. Okay, he's still shredding mechanoids. He's just not very fast about it. So all the guardsmen have been tended to, it looks like. I know that's not very very true to the lore. Space Marines probably wouldn't care at all if guardsmen were dying, but you know, we are trying to stay on decent terms with this faction, at least to a degree. This dead guardsman here had a bionic eye, and I kind of want to see if we can salvage it. So I guess let's, since we're done here. Are you guys stuck? Have you not moved? I might need to use the console to push them along. Because they should have arrived already. It says... Hold on. Do you have a destination even? They didn't. Okay, 1.4. That's weird. They should have. I don't know what happened there. They might not arrive in time. Anywho, I meant to do this. So we're going to reform the caravan. We'll send them home. That's fine. We're not going to capture anybody. Of course, we will take Squint to see if we can get that eye. That's kind of a funny nickname now that I think about it. Because he is the one with the bionic eye. And then I'm going to take his... Is that off of his body? Because he's wearing carapace armor. I'm not going to... I've said this probably 3 times already, but I'm going to say it again because I still get comments about it. We're not going to have any guardsmen in our faction. There's already a guardsman faction. Guardsmen do not stay in Space Marine chapter monasteries. Yes, there's stuff like Planetary Defense Force. Yes, there are chapter serfs and whatnot. However, we are trying to replicate Dawn of War Dark Crusade. In Dark Crusade, the Marines and the Guardsmen were eventually hostile toward one another. So even though we're working together now, this is the closest that we will ever work together with the Guardsmen. I am going to steal their Hell Gun, though, because one of my tech priests can use it. Las guns and stuff I don't really care about. Is there anything else? I don't believe so. Travel supplies. We're going to take all the food. Well, you know what? I feel bad doing that because the guardsmen will probably starve to death if I do. So we'll take the raw food and all the medicine. And that should be fine. Wait, what? Whatever. Those weren't my people. And then you guys, yeah, I don't know what's going on there. This thing get up again? What the hell's going on? You know what? Just blow that thing away. Aramis, try not to walk into the bolter. I don't think we can just like outright destroy the body. I honestly don't know enough about how these things trigger. What are you gonna do? You gonna go mulch him? Perfect. Yeah, please go do that. How much plastiles is costing me again? 40? That's not too bad. What were you doing? Okay, so let's take a look at these other quests. We can still accept this. I still have no idea what a violence generator is, but there was some people in the comments who suggested maybe going for the plasma sword that we could turn into a relic. I do like the idea of the Architect Eye as well, but I suppose we wouldn't need it if we were able to grab the advanced one out of that corpse that we brought back. And therefore, I guess this does make a bit of sense. Also, the tough skin gland can go into one of the tech priests, and that would help with the transhumanist trait. So I suppose, I mean, it is the highest value, so I guess it makes the most sense. Where's the monument marker? Oh, it hadn't arrived yet. There it is. How big is this thing? Where do I want to put it? That's a tough one. I suppose over here would be fine. Yeah, it might be easier to do it there just so we're not building in the water. Works for me. Okay, so I am taking a look at Arston and Cyrus's caravan, and they still have not moved. I think something is bugged, but they literally have not moved since we like sent them out initially. So I'm going to use the dev tools to just warp them to their destination because They should have arrived probably around the same time that these guys arrived, honestly. So, we're going to cheat. Okay. And so let's take a look. Hold on. I'm going to get rid of this. No, don't do that. And then what do we have here? So I don't see anything that's going to be immediately hostile. We could still get ambushed, but otherwise I think we're okay. So let's send Cyrus to here where he can cover. And we'll have Ariston. You know what? Cyrus, move along the wall and get over there. Ariston, go with him, and then we'll send you in closer. Still nothing. We'll claim the door, and then you can breach. And there it is. We get a low shield pack and an LTEX vest. Not much, but it's something. So I guess that's mission complete. It's a bit anticlimactic, but whatever. So reform the caravan. You're going to go home. Yep. We don't want any of that. We'll take the vest just to sell, I suppose. We'll grab that as well. There's really nothing else worth bringing. And yeah, of course, take all your stuff with you. Okay. So we'll send them home. Let's keep an eye on these because I'm worried that the caravans are just bugged out right now. So it should take them 2.1 days. Meaning, well, what are you guys at? 1.7. Roughly, since we've been covering about 3 days per episode, they should theoretically be back by the end of the episode. If they haven't progressed significantly by that time, then I might need to warp them back as I did to get them there. It doesn't look like they're moving at all, but they could just be... Well, it doesn't say that they're resting, so... Wait, I think they moved a little bit. It's always hard to say in the mountains because they move so slow. It'll be more obvious when they're on the road, but obviously it's a little bit harder to get them there. Missing blueprints. Okay. So what am I supposed to do? Place wall blueprints. We'll do sandstone. I think we have the most of that. I guess we should open this. Yeah, we have a lot of sandstone. So there's that. Oh god, I feel like we're begging for a weird floor bug by doing this. Sandstone tiles are fine. What's the sarcophagus made out of? Let's just do sandstone everything. Cool. I guess after I did that, I could have just said, place all of it. Anywho, we'll queue that up. How did you get there? I swear, these guys are getting up and moving. Because I'm fairly certain that flayed one was laying over here. Gordian, what are you working on? Shredding mechanoids. Yeah, please keep doing that, because otherwise they are going to get up and destroy my turrets again. Or worse, they'll like maim somebody. It makes me nervous that we have people going in and out to work on this. Okay, turret is up. And it should be running. Again, it doesn't need fuel in order to operate. Let's set that to 0. The reason why it can be fueled is so that it can basically drop down and powered temporarily without being connected to any sort of power source like this. So if we wanted to deploy them on a battlefield, we could fuel them up and then put them in somebody's inventory and carry them back. Since things are relatively quiet at the base, I'm going to ask that some more gene seed components get installed into Demetrius. So where are we at? We need 12 13, 14, 15, 16. So let's queue up 12, 13. And then we can do 14, 15, and then we'll do 16, and then get him into some scout gear. So I just caught Heracus trying to operate on Demetrios in the slab bed, and that's bad news. So I was fortunately able to interrupt it and have Heracus carry Demetrios over to the good bed, but I want to make sure that Gordian is the one doing this. Heracus is gonna... No, I don't want you doing it. Sorry. This is the apothecary's job. You, on the other hand, can start tearing up some mechanoids or necrons. So, future plans for the base. I started talking about mining this area out and then what we're going to do next, and I got interrupted. Obviously, we're going to let that happen, but primarily, I think the prisoners can handle the mining, so we don't need to have like all hands on deck for that type of thing. Instead, what I'd like to focus on is... whatever. Well, it's going to require a lot of mining, so I guess we should just maybe let that happen. We'll mine this out because we're going to need to mine out this area next. Also, I need to figure out... where? What in the hell? There's a pikeman there? What did we just discover? What is this? Tech print? Executioner pistol. Interesting. And jump packs. Okay. And then there are some cryptosleep caskets that may have people in them. Alright, we'll take a look at that in a bit. In the meantime, I'm going to ask Jonah to maybe go deal with the pikemen. And Endymion, since you're not doing anything, you can make your way over there to assist. So he's been just kind of digging his way through for a while now, I presume. It might be a good idea to like flashbang this guy as soon as he comes through. Hang out here. So I got interrupted again, but basically what I'd like to do is we need to move the growing area into a more permanent position over here. So we might want to just go ahead and like finalize that wherever we set it down. I'm thinking it'll probably be, we'll dig out a hallway this way. Here, let's do some plans. How about that? So this hallway will continue down in this direction. And I don't think we necessarily need to continue this out any further in that direction. We are going to want to... How far along is this? 3... So 8. Is that what you are? Yeah, that's also 8. So that room... I think that's 4 down. Something like this, and then 3. 1, 2, 3, 4. Then 3... Yeah, okay. So we have that as sort of an end cap, and then this whole area can be a growing zone potentially, or we can make it long, whatever we want to do. It'll be the permanent growing area. This will move over there, and then in this space here, I'm going to have a training area. So there will be, let's see, are they in recreation? Yeah, we have punching bags. We have martial arts targets. We can use both of those, and then on maybe like the far end, on like the back end here, if you walk in this way, you go past all the melee training stuff, and in the back there'll be a shooting range with the shooting targets, and that will be where everybody trains and does their recreation. And then on this side of the hall, I'm going to start building sleeping quarters. So we're going to organize them by squad. I think most of our squads are going to be 4 Marines deep. So it'll be a sergeant and 3 regular Marines. That's how it is in Dawn of War 2. So you have like the one named sergeant character, and then they have like 3 fodder Marines that follow them around. I figure that's probably a good size for the sort of abbreviated version of a Space Marine company we're going for here. So we're not going to have 10-man squads. I think 4 is a good size. Therefore, each squad will get a block of 4 rooms so that the sergeant and his 3 squad members will be bunked together. They'll have their own bedrooms, but they'll be in one area. And there might be like a squad common room as well if we have space. And another thing that I'm considering is I think we're going to put all the odd numbered squads on this side and all the even numbered squads on this side. So first, for example, generally in a Space Marine company, there are 10 squads. The first 6 are tactical Marines, and then 7 and 8 are assault Marines, and then 9 and 10 are devastators. So we'll have tactical Marines squads 1, 3, 5 on this side, with assault squad 7 and devastator squad 9, and then 2, 4, 6, 8, 10 over here. That way, regardless of which side we get attacked on, we can kind of deploy even forces to wherever we need to go. And then another thing I'd like to keep in those areas is drop pod hangars. So we'll have like a bunk area here, and then maybe just next to it there'll be a hangar with we have 5 squads on each side, so maybe 4 or 5 drop pods in a drop pod hangar, just so they can be easily and quickly deployed. Because when we get attacked, everybody can kind of run up to our defensive line, whether it's the bunkers we build into the mountain or the more forward defenses. We can have people like literally run out to man the defenses, but what we can also do is employ the steel rain tactic, where we have people run to drop pods and we deploy them behind the enemy just to basically hit the enemy from all sides and sow chaos. So there's that, and then of course we can use the drop pods for assaulting other parts of the map as well. So are you through there yet? Should we just like help him out? He's doing all right. Just kind of slow. Come on, one more. Let's do a smite. And you're down. Okay. I guess, do you two want to go scout this out? There could be demons and stuff in there. That's what we encountered last time. So Demetrios isn't dead. I suppose that's a good sign. Yeah, both of these were installed successfully. He's almost there. He'll be a Marine yet. All right. Let's see. I'm going to put you both here. And then Orion, open it on up. Oh, you got to be on that side. Oh my god. There was a lot of people in there. So Bastard is already incapacitated. Yikes. Pretty good melee fighter. Let's try not to kill him. I like how you're shooting him with a bolter while he's down. Bridges. That is a Marine candidate, if I've ever seen one. Grump. Actually, wait. Female. God damn it. Ancient Soldier does make great Marines, but female. So we'll see. Maybe we can find a role for her. Grump. It's a bit old. Psychically deaf. Psychopath. Brave. I don't know. You're not very good. Emma likes animals, otherwise not that great. And then Betty. Transhumanist. Intellectual. Really only going to be useful for crafting. What the hell is this? Rod of Flaming Death. Single-use magic rod. Okay. Endymion, engage Emma. Orion, run over here and deal with Grump. I think he's going to go do drugs, actually, so attack Bridges instead. Are you were dual wielding those? That's interesting. Okay, they're all down. I think that's basically all clear in here. So Bastard is going to be fine, but we probably want to take him prisoner. I wish you could shoot. Well, might still be worth making him into a Marine, and we'll just have him be like a primarily melee dedicated Marine. And I think he has the skill set to maybe be a tech Marine. Maybe not. Maybe a tech priest who can do some art for us and then mine. Or honestly, maybe even just a servitor who's dedicated to mining and art. Could work too. We'll figure out a role for him, but we'll definitely take him prisoner. Bridges will be fine. She's a competent fighter, but can't offer much else for us. So that's a tough one. Could be a combat servitor, potentially. Emma was only really good with animals. Also dying, so I don't see any reason to try to save her. Grump is dead. Not too concerned. And then Betty is dying. Doesn't have a whole lot to offer. Unless we were going to like really, really dedicate her to crafting, she could get potentially quite skilled at it. And since she's a transhumanist, she would obviously be a tech priest. I think there are certain crafting builds that actually do require high intellectual, like drug synthesis, as the game said in the tooltip there. So, you know, maybe there's actually potentially some utility there. In that case, Endymion, grab Betty. Actually, it might be smarter to stabilize. Stabilize and stabilize. And who's just hanging out right now? Aramis is sleeping, so Aramis, get over here and capture Bastard. What in the hell just happened? You need to throw a shield on yourself, like now. Oh my god. Oh, that Telekine Dome just saved Orion's life. So Bridges is dead, very dead. How did that, like, she was down. She was down and her staff still threw a fireball. So Emma, somehow you survived that. But again, you're only really good for animals. So I don't know what we can do with her. Maybe medicine. Yeah, I don't see how that's going to help. You need to stabilize Bastard. I guess, yeah, extinguish him. Come on, put him out. Put him out quickly. Endymion, I need you over here putting fires out. Please stop shooting. Why are you guys shooting? Let's turn that off. Okay, it should not be this hard to put the fires out. This guy has been burning for so long. Okay, how badly damaged are you? You'll potentially live. So Orion, go ahead and capture him. Endymion, you're still going to capture Betty, but let's make sure the fire doesn't spread any further. I still have no idea what happened there, if I'm being perfectly honest, because the Rod of Flaming Death, she did have 2, but she was down. I don't see how she could have used it, but it fired, or maybe one of the Cryptosleep caskets was so badly damaged that it exploded. I didn't see any indication of that until after the fireball went off, though, and it very clearly looked like a fireball shot across the room. It almost looked like a missile launcher, if I'm being honest. Okay, so we have a radioactive fallout. The wind is carrying radioactive dust across the area. The heightened radiation levels increase the risk of severe illness even indoors unless deep underground, enclosed in a room with a thick rock roof. You may wish to consider leaving the area until the effect is passed. So we should have exactly that, a thick rock roof over most of the base. In fact, I think even the areas where we did build roofing, it is a thick stone roof. So yeah, that appears to be the case. That is a thin rock roof, so we should probably fix that. But everywhere else I think is perfectly fine. So let's see, thick stone roofing. Yeah, we want to fix that right there. I don't need it there. So just those 2. I believe everything else is okay. I don't know how much the power armor will help. It should help a lot. They should be completely immune to it, but how well I've scripted that into the game is another question entirely. That also reminds me, let's check in on... Oh, you guys have not moved even a little bit. So we'll wait a little bit longer just because they should be out for a little bit more. I don't think it's been quite a full day yet, and it should be more like 2 days. So we'll play a little bit longer, and then between episodes I'll probably use the console to jump them back home since they're not actively moving. I'm not sure what's causing that bug, to be honest, but I also noticed that, oh, my priorities are back. Okay, so for a second, I checked these, and everything was a 1 all across the board. Oh, wow, that's really saturating my screen, isn't it? Oh, Demetrios is back up. Exotic goods trader. We should probably see what they have. Somebody else pointed out, too, that while we do have an orbital trade beacon somewhere up here, we don't have one down here. Actually, is there one up here? I thought there was. We've been trading stuff. But that was people, not items, right? I think the only items we've traded are with people that were present. So maybe I forgot entirely to add one. Okay, in that case, we should probably build one. There should be an in-wall version, so we don't need to take up a lot of space. Is that miscellaneous? I don't know why I went to production first. Orbital trade beacon. I thought I had an in-wall version. Wall-mounted orbital trade beacon. There we go. Oh, there was a wall-mounted comms console too. I should have used that. So let's see. Unfortunately, it needs to be there to cover everything. So in this instance, this one probably makes more sense. We'll drop it right there, I guess. We'll just have to move that stuff out of the way. Hairkiss, what are you doing right now? Oh, perfect. Okay, fair enough. Demetrios, you're going to watch TV. Do you think you could maybe do that first? And then let's jump back over here quickly. And we're going to do the in-wall versions, which I've already lost. There we go. And we're going to stick them to the walls here and here. That way we can trade everything. Betty is having a medical emergency. You guys can go about your business. Gordian, you're cutting stone blocks. Actually, I should have had... You are going to stabilize her. Yeah, Aramis, do something else. We're going to level your medical skills by having you do it. And Martellus is building outside. So somebody else can do the beacon, but I'd prefer it get done sooner than later. Kamisa, you're a builder, right? Yeah, you build it. So work on that. Then work on that. Then work on that. We'll just have you do all of them. Aramis, you can go do whatever now. Alright, so Betty is no longer in danger of dying. However, she does have an infection and some pretty severe injuries. So, Demetrios, let's have you tend to her properly now. Go grab the herbal medicine, if you don't mind. What just happened? Oh, weird. I want to check something. So Martellus is going in and out of the base pretty frequently. Doesn't look like he has any sort of radiation poisoning. Now looks to be good as well. He's also not a space marine, so I think it will be all right. Kamisa, do you think, you know, cutting grass is great and all, but like, why are you even doing that? Why is that there? Do me a favor, haul these inside so they don't get ruined. And I don't think anybody's actively working on this. So, oh, Heracus is. Okay. Kamisa, what you can do instead is start working at the smelter, because there's a lot of mechanoid weapons piling up that we don't want people grabbing. What? What's happening here? Who shot him in the eye? Oh, is it the turret engaging it? Martellus, do you think you could maybe help out the turret? I'd really rather not have to build it again. And the thing just vaporized our sandbags. Alright, you should probably start retreating. Way to take your sweet time. Come on, move. God, that took way too long. Retreat to here and engage again. Bubba, you picked a very poor time to come by. Okay, we got it. Undraft. Do me a favor, don't consume it. Cannot, blah, blah, blah. We can't eat it? Why can't we eat it? Oh, because it's forbidden. Can we haul it somewhere? Too heavy. Oh, but no, we can't. Okay, never mind. Some good old clawed fiend meat. I just noticed Demetrios didn't pick his weapon back up. So let's grab him. We'll have him equip his cattle prod. And Gordian's not really doing much either, so this seems like a good time to maybe add some more gene seed components. How are we on medicine, though? 42. Okay, I'm just worried we're blowing through the regular medicine a little bit too quickly, because we use a good number of them for these surgeries, but as long as we're still above like 20, 25, I feel okay. And obviously getting more initiates is really a priority here. So Demetrios, I'd like you to, yeah, rest until healed. And then Gordian, go ahead and run over there. Actually, stay over here because that's where the medicine is. And as soon as he's in bed, you can prioritize that. Kamisa, did you finish those beacons yet? There's a beacon there. Okay. Looks like she did finish it. In that case, Endymion, you are in charge of the trading. So let's see what they got. I don't need an Arlock. Neutromine is cheaper than medicine. We can use it to make medicine, so that is an interesting thought. There's also all of these advanced components. They have a lot of money. I guess let's look at what we can sell. What can we give them? Effectively nothing. They're not interested in anything that we have. This Thrumbo horn, while, you know, a nice piece of art, I think is more valuable in this case as silver, so let's get rid of it. We have a lot of plasteel, but we need every last bit of it. These two gene seed things can get sold because they're from the wrong mod. And that's really all I'm willing to part with that they're willing to buy. Ooh, Psychic Insanity Lance. None of this is really of note. What is this sculpture? Oh, it's like of a woman. Okay. Well, advanced components, we're at 14. I always like to have more of those, so let's get up to 20. Regular components, we can make ourselves, so I'm not that concerned about it. There's also Glitter World Medicine, which is pretty valuable to me. But that puts us in the negative, and I don't absolutely need them. We're getting by pretty well with regular medicine. How much for all the Neutromine they have? I forget what we need in order to make medicine out of it. So, I don't know how much we need to buy and what the equivalency would be to, you know, industrial medicine. I guess let's buy 100 and just see where that gets us. And minus 200 is not a big deal. So I think that's fine. And then Bubba, do me a favor and haul this stuff inside, please. So we have another incident here. A pikeman and a brute have managed to dig their way nearly into our base, just as the pikemen did over here. And by doing so, they've revealed another ancient danger, I suppose we should call it. So there's 2 Cryptosleep caskets in here. We'll have to see who's habitating those. Poison synthesis, interesting. So what does this do? Craft bionics and synthesize venom, blah, blah. Okay. I mean, there's no point in any of these because we have unlocked all the research. There is no research hidden from us. However, you know, we can always sell these things. So I don't know why everything's forbidden in here. I'll deal with that later. For now, let's get Endymion and Orion to deal with this. Alright, so Orion is engaged. And what does this do? Let's try it. Gonna use basically a force choke. That's some precision shooting right there. Pikeman is firing into the group too, but the pikeman's not particularly dangerous. At least I don't think so. This fiend is pretty tough though. I think there's a little bit of friendly fire going on there too. Let's use Smite. Okay, that put him down, and then you guys can just trade shots at the pikeman, and the pikeman's down. Okay, great. Great job. I suppose, Orion, you're not too badly hurt. By the way, somebody asked, oh no. We'll have to replace that. Somebody asked why he had demonic intention or was concerned about that. Any psyker who's using, basically conjuring powers from the warp is going to get demonic attention. There's no way around that. It looks like his injuries are pretty trivial unless that happened just now. But yeah, we'll have to replace it. That's unfortunate. Which one is 10? Endymion, what's 10? The Oculobe. Oh, so his combat accuracy and his sight are going to be a little bit reduced, which is a bummer. Well, let's have you guys venture on in here and we'll see who's sleeping inside. All right, so let's have Endymion open this one up and we'll see what we got this time. Okay, so we got Jimmy and Tendalis. Jimmy's not too shabby. Tendalis is pretty shabby. Yeah, even though he's an ancient soldier, he's really not good at anything but talking. So it doesn't really help us in any capacity, frankly. So go ahead and attack him. And Endymion, see if you can keep Jimmy alive. Good job. Okay, cool. Oh, he had some advanced components and whatnot. Right. So, plasteel. Wood. We want all of that. Steel knife. Nice. I guess we'll take a las carbine. We can always sell it. What is this? Drugs? Yeah, don't take that one. Oh, and more advanced components. So how badly hurt are you? Oh, good. You cut his ear off and poked a hole in his torso. Actually, several. But yeah, I think we're going to need to stabilize. So I'm going to leave that to you, Endymion. Yeah, stabilize, please. Tendalis, I don't see any value in keeping you alive. So we're going to let you die. Or maybe finish him off, and then we're going to try to get him into the freezer. These people over here also need to get into the freezer. Well, I mean, it's so cold in this part of the base, I'm not too concerned about it. But these guys are all obviously gene seed components, so we want to keep them alive. Or, sorry, not alive, but keep them intact until we can butcher them properly. So, I think that is pretty much it over here. That's exciting, though. That's going to be a lot of gene seed components. So we'll probably prioritize getting Orion, another Oculobe. And then with Demetrios, everything has been installed except for... it's easier if we do this. Where is it? Except for the Mucranoid and, of course, the Black Carapace. But the Black Carapace doesn't get added until they're full-fledged Marines. So this is the last one that we need in order to make him into a Scout Initiate. And then we need to make a set of Scout armor for him. Now, we're just going to do the regular Carapace armor because he's more melee-oriented, so he's not going to be a Scout Sniper. So that looks fine. I'd like somebody decent at crafting to do it. And we should probably do some kind of headset as well, just because technically, even though it doesn't look like it, it does protect their head to some degree. Let's do... I guess we'll just do the regular Scout headset. And again, I want somebody relatively skilled to do that. For your equipment, we already have... It's a uranium chainsword, but I guess that's fine. And then a bolt pistol, so you can use those. And then I guess we'll move on to Marcos. So after you get that installed, we'll start crafting some more components. I'm glad I held off on making Marcos' stuff because I am going to need to replace one for Orion. So we can actually queue that up now. It's the Oculobe. So let's make one of those. Then we'll start making one of everything for Marcos. Or, you know, maybe we'll queue up the first like 5 or 6 or something. We're not going to do all of them that way. If there's a failure, then we can still backtrack a bit. And again, Marcos is just going to be a tactical Marine. But first, we're going to go to Scout, just like everybody else. So with that, I think let's go ahead and call it. I am going to probably have to transport these guys home with the dev tools because it looks like they haven't moved this entire episode. So something is definitely wrong there. And I guess we'll hopefully get a little bit more mining going off camera. It doesn't look like we've made a lot of progress here. I think I need to go into here and tell the prisoners to kind of that's my fault. Yeah, so let's do a 3 there and a 2. Wait, no, that was right. Yeah, that's right. Jordana is the one that's wrong. I had them doing more quarrying because that's where we get the valuable resources like plasteel and steel and whatnot. This is more just making space in the base. Yeah. So anywho, thank you so much for watching. I had a great time playing some Rimworld with you. Things are really coming along at the base here, and I'm excited to see our first like full squad of initiates. I guess technically we'd have to wait until Marcos is ready, but we can maybe start speeding things along with the implantation, process. So that we'll have 3 scouts to join Arston's squad, and then maybe we can start sending them out as a group rather than you know, the kind of haphazard groupings that we've been using. We don't have any actual squads yet, which is why. So thank you again for watching, and I look forward to seeing you guys back here for the next episode.